In front of me is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, and today I will show you how you can go through the setup of this tablet. Now, before I get started, I will mention this device was already set up, so this will change the actual setup just a tiny bit. And what I mean by that is, throughout the setup process, I will, number one, have the ability to skip Wi-Fi connection, which in terms of that will save me a little bit of time, just because when you first connect to Wi-Fi, it starts setting up your tablet, which takes forever. And number two, I don't think I need to reboot the device when I select my language and region. So anyway, let's get started by proceeding. So I'm gonna choose my language right here. Obviously you can select any language from here, go to the next page, and it looks like it automatically skips region. I believe that might be to do with the fact, nope, never mind. When I first time set it up, it did ask me for language and then selecting region, and the region did force me to reboot the device for some unknown reason. I assume for you it will be the same, but because, like I mentioned, I already did do an initial setup of this tablet, I guess I just get to skip this, which is a good thing just because I don't need to reboot the device. Now, next page, we have connect to mobile network by inserting a SIM card. I'll be proceeding without it, so I'm gonna select next, but obviously if you want to, you can select on and then also pop in a SIM card. And then on the next page, you have the privacy or end user license agreement. So in here you need to select the first one, disregard anything else, just the first one. Now, obviously, if you are interested to know what you are actually agreeing to, you can tap on details right here to read the entire little pamphlet right here that you get. From there, let's go to the next page, which is permissions for Samsung apps and services. To be completely honest, you can disable all of them. What I think is Samsung should have no access to or no business in anything of these sorts, assuming you're not using their applications for it. So as an example, if you're not using some kind of like planner from Samsung, there's really no reason for it to have access to your calendar, which will have your events in there. If you're using Google, obviously, Samsung has no business in it. Call logs, I guess it can have it, contacts as well, assuming you keep them on a tablet, because I assume we have proprietary application from Samsung instead of Google. Though you can change that up if you want to use something else, and again you could then disable these applications as well. Files and media, that's something that I assume the tablet will need access to. Location, not really, just because you can use location for Google applications instead. This is strictly for Samsung apps, so keep that in mind. This is the default Samsung apps and nothing else. So that's why I consider this for the device to have no business in majority of these things. So obviously go through them, disable them to your liking, which one you think you might be using. So messages, obviously if you want to keep SMSs, you can enable this. If you think that Samsung has no business in it, just disable it and go through all of them and with the same logic. From there, we have Wi-Fi connection. So this is the page, like I mentioned, that you will most certainly, if you're setting up this device as a brand new, straight out of the box, full, just unsealed, you will need to connect to it. I can skip it. And when you connect to it, it will start looking for or setting up your device, which will take, like I mentioned before, forever. And I do mean that on all the senses right here. So once it's done setting up your tablet, it will take you to this page, which is copy apps and data, just a way for you to import data from an older device to this one. I'll be setting it up as new, so don't copy, which will take me to the next page, which is not what you're gonna see. This will only appear if you didn't connect to the network, and if the device is brand new for you, you cannot do that. But because I could, I do have the date and time as an option right here, so I can fix it up if it's incorrect. I can completely ignore it if I'm planning to connect to network later on. And this will bring me to the next page, which is Google Services. So this is the page you should see instead of the date and time. And in here we have services like location scanning and sending user and diagnostic data. Now quickly going into all three of them, location is just a GPS tracking. So for instance, Google Maps can know where you are located on the map, and also if you plan to use this device as a ways of like a GPS navigation, it will give you your correct position on the map at that given moment. Now below that we have scanning, which is allows the device to look for things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth signals, and below that we have send user and diagnostic data, which allows Google to spy on you. by sending themselves data about how you use their device, meaning what you search for, what your interests are, browser history, and so on, things like along those lines. Anyway, I'm going to just completely turn that off and go to the next page, which is the protection. So in here we have 3 different ways of protecting our device, or 3 specifically different. So we have face recognition, fingerprint, and screen lock. Screen lock includes 3 different also ways of unlocking it, so PIN, pattern, or password. You can choose whichever one you want. If you're planning to use any of the 2 first ones, like fingerprint or face recognition, you will always be required to set up for either one of those or both a PIN, pattern, or password, one of those 3. The choice will be yours. Now, you can skip this if you don't want to protect your device at all. I'll be setting up a pattern right here. So, draw it, next, repeat it, confirm, and now it's set. And this should give me there we go, Samsung account. So in here you can log into your Samsung account if you want to. Truth be told, this is kind of useless in my opinion. If you're not like deep into ecosystem of Samsung, there's really no point for you to log into it. And if you try to skip it, it will give you exactly a list of things that you will be missing out on. Like there are some great unique features. Now just to kind of explain why I'm kind of saying this super sarcastically is because the list of things right here is all substituted by Google, which comes with the device. So we have Samsung Cloud, Google Cloud, we have Bixby, Hey Google, Find My Mobile, Find My Device, Samsung Pass, Google Passwords, Galaxy Store, Play Store, and Secure Folder, which might be the only thing that isn't substituted by Google, though I might be wrong. I never was interested in it, so I actually don't really know. So because I don't know, I'm considering that it has no substitute, so this might be the only thing you gain from the Samsung account. If you're not planning to use this, there is really no reason for you to go for it. Now I will mention before I press this, there's one thing that I guess kind of maybe didn't mention. When it comes to the Samsung account, Samsung does have in their Galaxy Store a couple apps that are specific to their device. Like for instance, when you finish this up, when you have this like side panel that you can pull out, you can edit it so it has like different pages. Now there's a couple pages preloaded, but with Samsung account, you can download more, though they are paid. So again, you gain some, you lose some. So there we go. That's kind of what I'm talking about. But in other ways, if you're not really interested in getting anything additional that you also need to pay for from the Galaxy Store, there is really no reason for the account. So that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.